And this edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to Jim Buller Court in Goshen as we get you ready for Triton and Bethany Christian in our prime time showcase. Time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group on our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. We'll start with this Triton team that's led by Cole Shively, the 6'2" junior guard, who was such a pivotal part of their success in the tournament last year. Shively averaging over 16 points a game. Also a terrific offensive rebounder, averaging 4 caroms a game. And he is just the ultimate leader on this team, but he doesn't have to do it alone. He gets some help from Jacob Pitney, a 6'3" junior, only averaging 7 points a game, but he came up big in their win over Lakeland Christian, 13 points and a couple of clutch threes in that game. The keys to win for Jason Groves and the Trojans.
The keys to win tonight for the 3-2 Trojans. They need to check up Chuck. Tyson Chuck averaging over 15 a game for Bethany. They need to make sure they check him at all times and move the ball around. Coach Groves believes that that's one of the keys for them, is to get the ball moving and finish shots. They have a lot of times when they get the ball inside and they cannot finish those shots. Jason Groves in his 18th season.
You know, one, just working together. You know, obviously we got one returner from last year, Cole Shively. He's a pretty good player to build around. But our other guys are kind of gelling. They're really growing. I think Dante Workman's really playing well defensively. I think that's kind of been our best aspect is our defense. So we've kind of been relying on that a little bit. You know, offensively, we've been having other guys step up and do some things, which has been nice to see.
It's interesting because these two teams are built similarly. They have strong guards that they rely on. It's Shively for Triton. For Bethany Christian, it's Tyson Chuck. He's a 6' junior, averages about 16 points a game, 3 rebounds, leads the team in assists and steals. You could say that everything kind of goes through him. He gets some help in the front court from Jacoby Reinhardt, a 6'3" sophomore, averaging 11 points and 5 rebounds a game. But Reinhardt's more of a small forward. He can come outside, he'll stroke that 3, also work inside and get the offensive glass. The keys to win for the 4th-year coach Dan Mast and his Bruins.
The keys to win tonight for the 1-3 Bruins, they need to reduce turnovers, averaging over 14 a game. They need to knock that number down. Shadow Shively, they need to know where Shively is at all times on the floor and take away the dribble drive. They believe they can effectively win this game if they shut down those lanes and take away that drive. Here's Coach Dan Mast in his 4th season.
Well, we've had some tough challenges. We played some good teams up here in northern Indiana. That's one of the great things about our schedule, I think, get challenged early and often. And I like the improvement that we're seeing. It hasn't necessarily showed in results, but we're getting better.
Those have been the Jordan Automotive keys to win on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. It's Triton and Bethany Christian, and it comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Britt, we gotta go.
Oh, well, see ya.
Hurry up. You've got 5 minutes. We're going to be late. Hey, baby girl. Woo-hoo!
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Britt, we got to go.
Oh, well, see ya.
Hurry up. You've got 5 minutes. We're going to be late. Hey, baby girl. Woo-hoo!
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
And this edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Terra Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. They're getting ready to announce the starting lineups here at Bethany Christian High School. We'll do the same for you. Here's Bo Hunt.
For the Triton Trojans, the visiting teams on the scoreboard at 3-2, coached by Jason Groves. Their starting lineup: Dante Workman, the sophomore at 6 foot, averaging 4 a game. Julian Swanson, the 5'7" freshman, averaging 3.5 a game. Evan Briles, the senior, 6'5", averaging just over 6.5 a game. They expect a lot out of him tonight. And then Cole Shively, the junior, 6'2", averaging over 16 a game. And Jacob Pitney, the 6'3" junior, averaging just over 7 a game as well. And for your Bethany Christian, the home team on the floor tonight, number 4, Tyson Chupp, the 6 foot junior, averaging 15.5 a game. We're going to be calling Tyson's name a lot tonight. Number 10, Carter Smith, the 5'10" junior, averaging 4.5 a game. Jaden Slayball, the 5'9" junior, averaging 8 a game. Number 32, Jacoby Reinhardt, the 6'3" sophomore, averaging just over 11 a game. And number 44, Justin Hostetler, the 6'3" junior, averaging 4.5 a game.
And as they turn out the lights for the spotlight introductions of the Bruins, we will tell you about the series history, which dates back to 1989. This is the 35th meeting between these two schools all time. Triton has dominated the series, especially in recent years, and leads at 26-8. Last year, though, that was a really good Triton team. Won a sectional, got to a regional championship, and they struggled with Beck Willems and the Bruins last year, only winning by 7 down in the trench about 364 days ago. We'll wait until the lights come up to introduce you to our officials. That way they don't look like they're in the witness protection program. But I will say that the IHSA continues to promote the need for more officials in every sport. And it's exciting to see more and more high schools are starting to offer courses in officiating as well.
It's just great that the high schools get involved like that as well, to get the officiating involved meant for this level of play.
So there you see the Bruins 1-3. Let's meet our officials: Andrew Mischler, Stephen Nussbaum, and Timothy Stem working tonight's game.
Before we get our tip tonight, the check on the uniforms brought to you by St. Andrew's Products. Bethany Christian wearing the white jersey and shorts, the silver numbers and letters with the blue trim. And the Triton Trojans, the blue jersey, blue shorts, white numbers, yellow lovers, yellow trim. And here to call tonight's action, the Hall of Famer, Chuck Freeby.
Triton gets the opening tip. Jason Groves Trojans come in with a record of 3-2. Their best win over Lakeland Christian by 6. Their losses have come to 4A Plymouth and 3A Northwood. Swanson tries to go down low, and Justin Hostetler gets the steal for Bethany Christian, which comes in 1-3. Their only win over Clinton Christian, but their 3 losses all to 3A teams, and a kick called against Triton will keep the ball with Bethany. And those 3A teams that they've lost to, by the way, well, you've got Westview, who's actually 2A, West Noble, who's now ranked number 7 in 3A, and Lakeland. So a pretty good combination of teams. 3 on the way from Jaden Schleybaugh is good, and Bethany starts off on top 3-zip. Schleybaugh with his 5th three-pointer of the year. He averages 9 points a game. Dante Workman, now they get it across, and that's Cole Shively, their leading scorer, from the foul line short. And the rebound comes to Tyson Chupp, and here comes Bethany Christian. Chupp will kick it outside. Hostetler, the big fella. Carter Miller playing with a bad ankle. Now here's Jacoby Reinhardt. Everybody getting a touch on this possession. It's Schleybaugh, 4-3, offline, and the rebound knocked out of bounds by Triton. It'll be Bethany ball.
It'll be very interesting to see if Bethany, if they get a fast start here, how Triton responds to that. And right now it looks like everything's kind of going Bethany's way. They're out hustling Triton at this point.
And they give it back to Chupp, who threw in the inbounds pass, but he misses on the shot. Shively the rebound, and here come the Trojans. Pitney outside looking for a backdoor cut. It was shut off nicely by Bethany. Now here's Julian Swanson, only a freshman. The 5'7" guard takes it back outside. Shively trying to go one-on-one with Reinhardt. Nice spin move. Couldn't finish, though. The rebound put up and no good by Triton. That was Evan Briles. Triton 0 for 3 at the start.
Bethany doing a great job of their keys to win. Shadowing Shively, really getting in his face, not giving him any room when he gets the ball.
Julian Swanson on defense against Jaden Schleybaugh. Little three-man weave up top. Chupp lobs it down low for Reinhardt. The alley-oop is missed. Here comes Shively the other way. Workman outside. They move the ball well to get it to Julian Swanson. The three won't go, and the rebound tipped out of bounds. It'll be Triton ball.
Right Way Auto Sales is a proud supporter of Triton Athletics. Right Way has cars for any budget and offers both traditional and special financing. Visit rightway.com and apply online.
Right Way Auto Sales hoping to see some Triton three-pointers tonight. They're our three-point sponsor. Shively stymied outside. Dante Workman, the sophomore, gives it to the cutting Shively, who spins back in, but defended well by Hostetler, who got the rebound. Still 3-0 Bruins. We've played 2:40. Chupp being guarded by Workman. Schleybaugh in the corner, cross court to Chupp, 4-3. The iron unkind. The rebound tipped around. It's still tipped around, and Chupp catches it in the backcourt. Bethany getting some good looks early on. They just haven't been able to convert them. Chupp turns it over. Here's Shively on a breakaway, 4-2. So Cole Shively gets the first points of the game for the Triton Trojans. It took them over 3 minutes to get on the board, but they're only down 1.
What's really interesting is their defense led to their first points, and that's what we really talked about with Coach Grove's teams is they really rely on that defense and getting turnovers like that and get into transition because they actually play better in transition on the offensive side.
Evan Briles got away with a grab a little bit earlier. He couldn't get away with that one, and he's called for the foul, and Bethany Christian will go to its bench as Jesse Bontrager checks into the game. He wears number 11, and James Lind, a very good three-sport athlete here at Bethany, comes in. He wears 22.
Bethany, a very junior-dominated team. Only one senior and one sophomore. The rest of the team made up of juniors.
Here's Chupp, foul line jumper. That's pure. Tyson Chupp on the board for the first time tonight. Bethany back up by 3. Shively to Dante Workman. Ooh, Shively thought about pulling the trigger. Instead, he goes down the lane and draws the contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Here you can see the R&B Car Company replay right here. What Shively really likes to do is he really likes to dribble drive that lane. You can see it right there. He's worked in the weight room, worked in the offseason, really getting stronger to try to finish those things as well.
70% free throw shooter, hits the first. As you take a look at Dan Mast, a 2006 Bethany Christian graduate. His dad, the former girls coach here, is one of his assistant coaches. Shively 1 of 2 on that trip at the stripe, and Bethany holds the rebound. Tyson Chupp directing traffic. Guarded by Dante Workman. Workman typically guards the other team's best player. Here's Bontrager down in the corner. Tipped away by Workman and out of bounds. Triton will deflect a lot of passes when they're clicking defensively.
Dante Workman, only a sophomore, but I believe Jason believes and we believe he's one of those key players, one of those role players that really needs to step more into a leadership role for this team to really go far in the tournament.
He played some varsity as a freshman, and they just like the contribution he makes. There's a pass deflected. Workman coming the other way to Shively for 2, and it's tied at 5. Shively has all 5 for the Trojans. And 4 of their points scored in transition.
Yeah, more of the points scored in transition, off of defense, getting that ball out and getting in transition.
1-3-1 zone being used by Triton, and it's been befuddling, but here's Reinhardt for 3. That's offline, and the rebound controlled by Briles of Triton.
I think they're okay staying in that zone, letting Bethany shoot from the outside. They haven't been able to knock down except for that first one. and just keep them outside and let them shoot it.
Meanwhile, Workman down the lane for 2, and the Trojans grab the lead.
Exactly what Workman needs to do. Get that confidence against a 1A school, against a like team, as Craig Heatherly talked about in pregame.
Bontrager way offline with the 3, and here's Shively with the carom. Riles, good hands there by the tight end from the football team, but he can't hit the shot. And Bethany Christian gets the rebound. 5-0 run by the Trojans. Chupp will end that. And you get the feeling these 2 guards are going to be battling all night long. They're AAU teammates.
Yeah, well, Tyson, if you're going to give him the lane like that, he's going to go right in the lane and just pop a little short jumper right there all day long. They got to close that off.
Shively trying to go to work here again, and a travel called on Cole Shively, the second turnover for Triton. There you see Dan Mast again on the Bethany bench, 28 and 46 in his 4 years, but that skewed a little bit. They really struggled his first couple of years here, and then Beck Williams kind of changed the culture here at Bethany. Here's a jumper on its way by Bontrager, no good, and the rebound to the smallest guy on the court, Julian Swanson. Trojans looking to take the lead with Pitney for 3. Jacob Pitney, only his 5th three-pointer of the year. He's now 5 of 27. That one's sponsored, by the way, by Right Way Auto Sales. But Jason Grove says that's really skewed by his numbers the first 2 games. Last couple of games, 3 out of 9 from three-point range, and we saw a good stroke there.
Yeah, he's really starting to get his confidence going and everything, and I think that's the biggest thing. When you're struggling early, first couple of games going, 1 for 17, 1 for 18, whatever it was, and then you start hitting them, you start getting that confidence, and you need that in basketball. You have to have confidence when you're shooting that 3.
Both teams to the bench. Hostetler and Miller in for Bethany Christian, while Anthony Shue checks into the lineup for Triton wearing number 33. Good ball movement by the Bruins. Chupp for 3, ring it up. He has 7. That's his 6th three-pointer of the year and the 92nd of his Bethany Christian career. Tied at 10. Shively, pull-up jumper is offline. Shue with the offensive rebound for 2.
Anthony Shue showing that muscle inside from the football team, getting in there, mixing it up. You're going to see a lot of points out of that kid from inside by getting offensive rebounds.
And a timeout called by Bethany Christian. Will take it as well. 32.1 seconds left in the first quarter. Back and forth we go. Right now it's Triton by 2 on 46. .1 seconds remaining in the first. Triton on top by 2 by a count of 12-10.
Hey, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Hey, well, now's your chance because Rushcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Rushcore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com.
Carter Miller with his first basket of the game. And we're tied at 12. Triton will hold for the last shot of the first quarter. Dante Workman with the handles. Nearly lost it. And a 5-second count. Good defense by Bethany, particularly Jaden Schleybaugh. And Jacoby Reinhardt will check back in to give Bethany Christian a little bit more offense here for the final shot of the first quarter. Chupp, to no one's surprise, with the ball in his hands. Down in the corner, Miller for 3. Wouldn't go, and the first quarter comes to an end here at Jim Buller Court in Goshen. What a battle here in the first quarter between two really savvy teams as Jaden Schleybaugh dived long distance, but Triton came right back at them with the three of their own. 12-12 after one on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. It's time for a Bill's Heating courtside report. We go downstairs to Craig Heatherly. Your thoughts on this one through the first 8 minutes?
Yeah, Triton is clearly the more athletic team here. What you're seeing here on defense, they're getting out in passing lanes, and on offense, they're really pushing the ball up the floor with great pace, not only in transition, but in the half court. What Bethany Christian's doing a great job of is they have to continue to do so, is taking care of the basketball and getting shots on the rim versus turning it over and giving up easy ones on the other end.
Both teams 5 of 12 shooting in that first quarter.
We talked about how like these teams are. Both 5 of 12, both have 2 turnovers, both have 1 foul, both scored 12 points. Very similar teams out here.
Chop over in the corner to Reinhardt. Bethany Christian trying to move it around this man-to-man defense here, employed by Triton. Reinhardt, who thought about pulling the trigger, instead cross-courts it. Schupp was the cutter, but Reinhardt didn't quite see him. Miller goes baseline. Good patience here by Bethany, but you could also say good defense being shown here by Triton. 3 on the way by Miller, no good. And the rebound to Anthony Shue.
Yeah, you just talked about the patience there and the defense, just good defense, and a little bit of a forced shot there, I believe, as well. Just keep working that ball and look for something good to go.
Meanwhile, Shively at the other end. Pull-up jumper is good. And Cole Shively now with 7. So he and Chupp have 7 apiece, but Triton has the lead by 2. Reinhardt guarded by Shively. James Lind, not known as an offensive force, and you can see Triton sagging off of him. Chupp, though, turns, fires, couldn't get it to go. And again, it's Triton with the rebound. That time it's Bryles. Shively, great spin move, scoop, and couldn't get it to go, but he'll go to the line for 2.
You saw the ability, the strength to actually get that shot off. Last year, he believes that he wasn't able to get that shot off, but the work that he's put in, he was able to get that shot off and actually had a chance of going in.
James Lind was called for the foul. Shively with his second free throw made of the night as both teams go to the bench. First, we'll see Kyle Boyer tonight check in for Bethany Christian, and for Triton, Caden Large makes his first appearance, number 14.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits that are a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Triton with its biggest lead of the night. Bethany Christian trying to create some offense without Chupp in the game. Miller kicks it to the corner. Boyer outside, Reinhardt for 3. That's off, but a rebound by Boyer keeps it alive.
Great defense by Triton again, causing that turnover, getting in the passing lanes.
But a turnover right back. And here comes Bethany Christian with a chance to cut into the 4-point deficit. Boyer, guarded by Shue. Switching man-to-man defense being used by Triton, and Shively gets the pilfer and then is tripped by Reinhardt. First foul on Jacoby Reinhardt. You'll get another look at it courtesy of R&B Car Company, but the peskiness of Cole Shively on defense It's not the only sport where he plays good defense. He was an IFCA Junior All-State defensive back for the football team this year. Evan Briles checking back in for Triton to take the place of Anthony Shue.
Anthony, I think, still getting his basketball legs under him after the lengthy football season they had.
Meanwhile, Briles working on Kyle Boyer. Whoa, he traveled. Couldn't figure out what he wanted to do and wound up just giving it away.
Imaginarian Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as a knowledge source for men in finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imaginarian is always working toward a great finish. IFT is proud to support all student athletes.
4 turnovers for each side now. Nice behind the back move by Chupp, and the shot is pure. Tyson Chupp with his second 3 of the night. He has 10. It's a 1-point game in Goshen. Oh, now the 2 AAU teammates going head to head. Triton, Briles tried to save it and did by throwing it off Kyle Boyer. And Bethany, making liberal use of its bench, will put Reinhardt and Hostetler back in.
Yeah, I like the way Bethany's really subbing. They're really getting a lot of bodies in there, really getting a lot of kids involved into the offense as well.
Wayne Reichert in the game, and he has it taken away and then commits the foul. Reichert, the 5'10" sophomore, called for the violation. Just the second team foul on Triton. It's been a pretty clean game. Bethany with a chance to retake the lead. Hostetler. Now Schleybaugh. Good ball movement here by the Bruins. Hostetler foul line jumper is good. Just like Daddy used to do it over at Northwood. Justin Hostetler, the 6'3" junior, averaging 4.5 per game, puts Bethany back out in front.
I really like the way Justin turned on that elbow shot and just with all the confidence in the world said, you're going to give me this, I'm going to knock it down all day.
Triton has had 2 straight turnovers, trying to find a way to get a clean shot up. But Briles throws it away. Good hustle by Reichert to keep Chupp from having a breakaway layup.
Tonight's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Everyone knows you can't play or learn if you don't feel your best. If your child isn't feeling well, schedule a sick visit at HealthLink. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more regardless of your ability to pay.
Workman and Pitney come back into the Triton lineup because Jason Groves trying to get some offense going. It's become stagnant, and that's allowed Bethany to re-grab the lead. Reinhardt went for a drive and got hammered. They'll call the foul on Jacob Pitney. That's his first. Bethany inbounds from the baseline. Open 3 in the corner. It's off the mark by James Lind, and the rebound comes to Dante Workman. Shively on the drive, down the lane, charged. You get another look from R&B Car Company. Does he use the left arm to push off?
I think he just got his shoulder down a little bit, and they were looking at it. It's just one of those plays where you got a kid that's very aggressive at attacking the basket. You're taught to attack the basket. He did a great job. I don't think he really lowered his shoulder, and I don't think he got his arm out either.
If you're a player, you got to make an adjustment after that. Chupp found the open Schleybaugh, but he couldn't bury the shot. Chupp kept the rebound alive. And Chupp takes the shot, can't make the shot, and the rebound finally comes to Triton. Trojans in trouble and a foul called on Jaden Schleybaugh. That's his first. The defenses have tightened up a little bit here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that last possession right there, nobody could actually get possession of the ball, and it kept going back and forth until actually a foul was called in that situation.
Can't emphasize enough, though. Bethany has had good looks. They just have not hit shots.
No, they've had many looks at the three-point and really decent looks. They're just not falling.
3 of 12 from three-point range. Workman jammed his finger a little bit on that one. And Triton having turnover problems, and Jason Groves wants a timeout. 2:46 to go in the first half. And the Bruins of Bethany up by 1 on Triton on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. Chuck Ruby, Bo Hunt, Craig Heatherly, our first ever visit to Jim Buller Court here in Goshen. Thanks to Athletic Director Gary Chupp for all the hospitality here tonight. They're very excited for us to be here. We're excited to be here and give a showcase to some smaller schools in the area.
Yeah, we felt very welcome down here. As soon as I walk in the gym, I see an Erie Seawolves hat.
That was your buddy Dan Boddicker.
Yep, first minor league team that I played for, and that was their welcome me to the arena here tonight.
Carter Miller travels. A lot of people may not remember, some of us do, baseball was your best sport, even though you got far more publicity for your football exploits. And you had a little career with the Pittsburgh Pirates in the minors.
Yeah, just a small career. It was the sport that I played to play because I was decent at it. I enjoyed football a lot more, but I was pretty decent at baseball, I guess.
And then became a baseball coach, and you got your first win down here at Bethany, right?
Actually, yeah, my first head coaching job at Bremen. Our first game was down here at Bethany, and we picked up our first win. Started a freshman on the mound, Matt Barr. Matt had a solid 4 years. That whole group had a solid 4 years at Bremen. But just like these teams, I think I had 4 freshmen starting on that team, and these guys here, they have a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. There's only 2 seniors out here tonight, 1 on each team.
Charging goal on one of those seniors, Evan Bryles. That's his second foul, so he comes out of the game. Turnovers have become a problem for Triton now. They have 9 here in the first half. Chupp, reverse layup is missed, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Hostetler. It'll go to Triton. Another good look for the Bruins that they couldn't convert. And some full court pressure now being offered by Bethany. Shively has the ball and says, everybody get away from me. I can handle this. More than likely, he's right. And an offensive foul on Anthony Shue. That's his first. The 10th turnover for the Trojans in the first half, and Jason Groves just does the facepalm.
Yeah, both these teams have just been turnover prone throughout the season so far. Both of them averaging over 14 turnovers a game. Not quite to that 20 mark like we've seen with a couple teams this year, but right there where neither one of these coaches want to be, being defensive-oriented teams.
Schleybaugh may have injured himself trying to make a cut there. He's limping a little bit out on the court. Chupp around the Hostetler screen. Goes behind the back to get by Workman. Got the bucket in the bump. Julian Swanson with a foul, and Tyson Chupp will go to the foul line as you'll get another look from R&B Car Company.
Tyson with a great move behind the back there. Dante just not able to stay with him, over-pursued that ball, and Chupp with a good job of really taking it to the hoop, understanding the body control as well.
The 81% free throw shooter nails it, and Bethany with a 4-point lead. Swanson dribbles out of the trap. Shively saw the opening, goes to the bucket for 2. All those bodies went and chased Swanson, and Shively said, thank you very much, I'll take it to the basket. Chupp in the corner for 3, yes sir. His third of the night. He has 16 here in the half. And another turnover for Triton. You get another look from R&B Car Company at the beautiful corner shot by Chubb. Meanwhile, Jacoby Reinhardt, 77% free throw shooter, goes to the line and hits the first.
Couple workmen, starters for Triton, Workman and Briles, both picking up 2 fouls here in the first half.
Reinhardt's dad, a longtime baseball coach here at Bethany Christian. Jacoby, a 3-sport athlete, knocks down both. And the Bruins have their biggest lead at 7. But a foul called over the back on Carter Miller, his first and the 5th on the team. Dan Mast likes the aggression from his team, though, here in the first half. Long baseball pass. Shively, what a catch, and puts it in for 2. Boy, that was beautifully executed on both ends.
Yeah, just a great pass, great catch, and great awareness of where it was on the floor, not having to put the ball on the ground before he took that shot.
Chubb wants to hold for the last shot. You see the clock, right-hand corner of your Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Chubb goes around his man, hard to the basket for 2. 18 for Tyson Chubb in the first half. Workman had it poked away. Bethany may get one more shot. Chubb, long pass, Schlabach off the top of the backboard. And the first half comes to an end. But a great first half for the Bethany Bruins, who go to the locker room up by 7 at the intermission, 27-20. And as the teams head to the locker room, we go downstairs to Craig Heatherly for a courtside report. He's got Bethany Christian head coach Dan Mast.
Coach, strong first half there offensively. You're moving the basketball, getting a lot of open shots. Obviously, Tyson's having a great half. What are your thoughts offensively so far?
Hey, things look really good when the ball goes in the basket, don't they? Yeah, we hit some shots, some tough ones. Tyson was very aggressive going to the rim, and it opened up the three-point shot for him as well.
Yeah, now Triton's having some success early in possessions, driving the basketball, especially Shively. I know he's a great athlete. Any type of adjustments on the defensive end for you?
Hey, we got to get back to those fundamentals of getting the feet in front. That front foot has to get out in front on those initial drives. If we give up straight line drives, our help doesn't have time to get there.
Cool. Good luck, Coach. Back to you, Chuck.
All right, Craig. Cole Shively had a strong first half. He had 12, but Tyson Chubb lit it up for 18. And at the intermission, Bethany Christian leads at 27-20. You'll meet those two young men. Our student athletes are next on 46. It's halftime and time to meet our student athletes of the week. It's brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher with Health Markets, two terrific representatives of these institutions here tonight. As we have Cole Shively from Triton, Tyson Chubb from Bethany. We always start with the visitors first. Mr. Shively just coming off a terrific football season as quarterback. Also played on a team that went to the regional championship last year in basketball, but getting the job done in the classroom as well. How do you budget out your time?
You got to learn to use your time wisely in school. They give us an SLC time, so a lot of people sit on their phone and play games and stuff, but usually I have something to do and I try to get it done, so that's really what I do.
We mentioned quarterback for the football team, IFC Junior All-State defensive back this year, then trying to make the transition to basketball. I imagine you don't get a lot of shots put up during the fall, so how difficult is that transition?
I usually get into it pretty easily. The conditioning's a little different, so it's a lot more running than football practice, but it usually takes a few days, but then I'm back.
And on this team this year, you kind of have to be more of a leader than you've had to be in the past. What's that been like for you?
I like it because I feel like I'm a natural leader, but we have our ups and downs, but I feel like this group's really good and we can be really good. It's just we have a lot of underclassmen that are a little unexperienced, but I feel like if I lead them, then we can have a good season.
The work ethic, the leadership, those you say are natural, but they come from somewhere. Who's instilled those values in you?
Probably grandparents, parents. They've just raised me right, taught me to know what's right from wrong and just be a leader.
And also involved in 4-H, we should mention that as well. When you're an underclassman, maybe you're not thinking about this quite yet, but you will be next year. What do you intend to do once you leave Bourbon?
Obviously, I'm going to try to go to college, specifically probably for football. That's the main goal. I'm going to try to put some weight on and then try to go play defense in football. But I'm probably going to try to study sports medicine somewhere. But, yeah, that's the goal.
That's Cole Shively from Triton. And over here on the other side, well, it's his AAU teammate, Tyson Chupp from Bethany. Tyson, a three-sport athlete here with the Bruins, where he plays soccer, basketball, and baseball, and also an outstanding student. I know your father. It couldn't possibly come from him. Where do your values come from?
I just try to work hard anywhere I'm at, whether it's in the gym or on in the school. Work hard in study hall, anywhere I'm at, just work hard.
Do you have a favorite sport?
It's going to have to be basketball.
And I would imagine that comes from the legacy of, I mentioned your father. He was an outstanding basketball player as well. How much of an influence has he been on your career?
He's taught me almost everything I know. He's been coaching me since 4th grade. My whole team back there, he's been coaching our team since 4th grade. So I have to give him props for teaching me almost everything I know.
Now that's from a basketball standpoint. From a life standpoint, who else has put the values in you?
My mom, my grandparents, the rest of my family. My whole family teaches me stuff on the court, but also off the court, how to be a better person in general.
Like Cole, you're a junior, an underclassman, maybe not thinking too far into the future, but once you leave Bethany Christian, what is it that you want to do?
I want to play basketball somewhere. I don't know where yet, though. And I'm probably going to study sports medicine or sports management.
Sports medicine, probably a little bit easier and a little more work to get into than sports management, but the best of luck to you no matter what you choose to do. That's Tyson Chupp from Bethany, Cole Shively from Triton. They are our TV-46 student athletes, brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher with Health Markets. Stick around. We've got halftime highlights and stats. These guys might be in those highlights. You're watching the 46 Game of the Week. Halftime here at Jim Buller Coat in Goshen, where the Bethany Bruins, the home team, leads Triton 27-20 at the intermission. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt high above the fray here at Jim Buller Court. And we build this as a battle of 2 point guards. Tyson Chupp for Bethany Christian, Cole Shively for Triton. It's lived up to billing.
Yeah, they're both of them. Their career highs are 20 and 21 respectively, and both of them are almost to that 20-point mark already. So they come out to perform. They knew the cameras out here, the lights were on them, and they were going to come out and perform tonight.
Let's show you how it got to be this way here in Goshen tonight, because it was Jaden Schleybaugh that came out firing the first three of the game for Bethany Christian, but then Cole Shively break away on the turnover and the transition basket, and really that's what led to Triton's first couple of hoops of the game. But then Chupp started to heat up. A little foul line jumper right there to get himself going. Back came Triton. Their only three of the first half came from Jacob Pitney, but threes were aplenty for Bethany Christian as Chupp was able to dial it up from long distance. Shively was able to keep his team in the game. He had 12 points in the first half, and the game was on between these two AAU teammates. Chupp with the step back three here. Shively would come back with two more of his 12 at the other end, but Chupp ended the first half with 18 points, and Bethany has a 7-point lead at the intermission, mainly because of Triton's ball handling problems. Look at the difference, not in the shooting percentages, in the number of shots taken by each team.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is on that three-point shots. Bethany's taken 14 three-pointers up to this point. Yeah, they've only hit 4 of them, but they've had the ability to take that many more shots than what Triton has. And I think it's a lot of it's due with the turnovers. 12 turnovers for Triton, only 5 for Bethany. That's one of the areas that Jason really thought his team really needed to work on and thought could get better tonight. And he knows they're going to have to get even better, and I believe, and I know that's what they talked about at halftime.
I doubt it was a lengthy conversation between Jason Groves and Craig Heatherly, but we'll check in on it when we came back. The St. Joe County Police Department halftime report shows Bethany Christian on top, 27-20. Second half play-by-play from Jim Buller-Court is next on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. In 57 years of varsity basketball at Bethany Christian High School, they have only had 2 official scores. The second one is this lady, Renee Yoder, who celebrates her birthday today. So far, a happy birthday, courtesy of the Bruins, who are up by 7. Craig Heatherly, it wasn't a happy Jason Groves who spoke to you at halftime. And what were his thoughts?
Yeah, the best word to describe, he said the first half was sloppy. Offensively, they had way too many turnovers, especially there in the second quarter. He wants to see his team move the basketball, share it, shift the defense, create opportunities to score, and then obviously on the defensive end, Chubb's making some tough shots. He says make a miss, contest shots harder, get up closer on them, arrive on the catch, but they've got a lot of work to do, he said.
Craig's courtside report brought to us by Bill's Heating.
One thing I just noticed, besides Chubb on Bethany and Shively on Triton, no other player has made more than 1 field goal.
Yep.
No players made more than 1 field goal except for those 2.
It has really been those 2 battling. Now Dante Workman throws it over to Bryles, and the big fella gets down low for 2. And you get the feeling that's what Jason Groves wants to do here, is attack the basket a little bit more in the second half. Meanwhile, a turnover for Bethany Christian. And here comes Triton with Jacob Pitney missing the layup, and Bethany gets the rebound. That's a huge break for the Bruins. Carter Miller for 3, that's short. On the air ball, Workman collects the loose change. Here's Shively with the pull-up, but it's missed, and a great box out by Bethany Christian. 4 white jerseys around the ball.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of really getting inside and boxing out, not giving Triton any second chance points tonight.
Hostetler hands it off for Jacoby Reinhardt. 3 in the corner by Schleybaugh is good. Jaden Schleybaugh with his second 3-pointer of the night, his 6th of the season. And Bethany extends the lead to 8. Dante Workman. Bethany just using good old-fashioned man-to-man defense here to thwart Triton. Swanson has to kick it back outside to Pitney. They go to Shively. Now a deep 3, and it's hit by Julian Swanson. Swanson with his 5th 3-pointer of the season. It's sponsored by Right Way Auto Sales. And Triton climbs back within 5.
Swanson, just a freshman.
Miller in the corner for Bethany Christian. Reinhardt tries to go baseline. Outside, Hostetler, foul line jumper off the mark, and the rebound A held ball, alternating possession will go to Bethany Christian.
Wow, Chup able to get in there and get a hand on that ball to get that jump ball call. Looked like we might have a charging call called. Looked like Shively just really didn't get his feet set maybe in time, was just kind of falling with the play.
James Lind checks back in for Bethany Christian. Chup with a clear out on the left side, gets double teamed over on the corner and has to kick it outside to Hostetler. So you can already see a couple of adjustments Triton has made here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, one of them with Chup is anytime that he gets great turnover by Triton there, causing the double dribble. But then with Chup, anytime he starts to dribble, whoever's closest is going to come up and double team him right away.
Which you might as well, because of the point you made to start the third quarter. There's nobody else that has shown that they're an essential part of the offense right now. Make somebody else beat you. Meanwhile, Swanson's starting to heat up, but he missed that one. And the rebound taken by James Lind. Chup 4-3, that's short, and Shively lets the rebound go out of the bounds.
These teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel and promotional products, contact St. Andrews Products at sales at standrewscorp.com. They supplied our crew with our great outfits and our great apparel. They can supply your crew as well. Reach out to St. Andrews Products at standrewscorp.com.
And we've got a whistle and a foul underneath the charge called on Dante Workman, and the turnover problems continue to persist for Triton. So Anthony Shue will check back into the game for the Trojans and take the place of the sophomore Workman. Jason Groves getting the explanation of the call over on the sideline, not necessarily agreeing with that explanation.
As most head coaches don't necessarily agree. I didn't agree with most calls. We see it a different way, you know?
Sure you do. Turnover by Bethany, though, and here comes Swanson and the Trojans the other way. Shively tried to get a step on Chup. Chup recovered well. Riles tried to find Shively and threw it away. Waited for a second to see if there was a deflection called, but there was not.
I think they're going to talk about it here. Looked like Jason was in the ear of the... Yep, they are going to switch it up.
And that's why I waited a second.
Yep.
Because I thought I saw one, but we're up here on the balcony. Inbound pass comes to Caden Large, and now Swanson. There's a three by Pitney that's short, and the rebound to Chup. Midway through the third, Bethany Christian still up by 5. Schleybaugh. Now to Carter Miller. The little runner is good. Miller with 4 tonight. He had 10 on Saturday night against Lakeland, a career high.
Miller has been forcing a lot of threes tonight, and that move right there was actually his best of the night. I'd like to see him drive more to the hoop.
Shively went in strong and traveled. Boy, the defense by Chup on Shively, and they're good friends. But when you're playing a good friend, you want to put on your best.
Yeah, and it seems like right now that Chup's been getting more of the calls than Shively has, and he's getting more against him, and you always feel like that's something that's...
Pitney hits Shue on the run, and Anthony gets his second basket of the night. The all-state running back for the football team puts the Trojans back within 5. Bontrager, here's Lind. Catcher on the baseball team, but he threw that one away. And here come the Trojans in transition. Swanson was blocked from behind, but fouled by Jaden Schleybaugh. You'll get another look at it from R&B Car Company.
Great pass by Shue, getting it up the floor. Mostly ball, but a little hand there at the end as well.
Julian Swanson, 67% free throw shooter.
Triton's free throw sponsored tonight. Our three-pointers by Right Way Auto Sales. Right Way Auto Sales is a proud supporter of Triton Athletics. Right Way has cars for any budget and offers both traditional and special financing. Visit rightway.com and apply online.
3:19 to go, third quarter. Triton has shrunk the lead to 4 for Bethany. It's 32-28 Bruins on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU, and it leads us into tonight's TCU trivia question. What 3 schools consolidated to create Triton High School? Of course, Triton, three towns. So what are they? Give you a second to think about that. Actually, more than a second.
I should know that.
You should,
I should. Growing up just about 15 minutes north of Triton.
But it's easy to forget one of them.
It is. And I know 2 of them. I just can't remember the other one.
So Triton will be shooting free throws coming out of the timeout. Julian Swanson at the line, trying to cut the deficit to 3. Remember, the Bruins were up by 7 at the break, extended it to as much as 8 here in the third quarter. Swanson, the team leader in steals with 10. Very quick, as you've seen tonight. Rattles home the second. Trojans are 5 of 6 at the line. All of a sudden, this is a 3-point game. Reinhardt with the left-hand drive. Miller, the baseline floater is good. Same move as he had before, just on the different side.
Exactly. I really like that move by Miller. Just a great job. He's got such a soft touch.
Ball knocked away by Chupp, and Miller was able to gather it. Reinhardt. Nice pass to Miller for 2. Hang a star on that one.
The ability of Bethany Christian to really move the ball and use other people besides Chupp has just been amazing here in the second half.
Shively was fouled by Reinhardt. Here's a candidate for electrifying play of the game, sponsored by Electrical Workers Local 153. Look at this sweet little dish with the left hand.
Miller with 6 points here in the second half. Interesting, Chupp with 18 at halftime. Still has not had a bucket yet, but yet they still have that 7-point lead.
Shively couldn't control the pass, and another turnover for Triton.
Bethany going with the rotation again, getting a couple more subs into the lineup, going with Schleybaugh and Hustetler.
I have the Trojans now for 15 turnovers. If Jason Groves weren't scalp challenged already, he'd be even more so tonight. Reinhardt for 3. Yes, sir. Jacoby Reinhardt. 5 3-pointers this season. 5 points tonight. Bethany with its biggest lead at 10. Remember, the Trojans came in 1-3, but you look at the caliber of competition they played, they felt like they matched up well tonight. And a foul called on Reinhardt as Shively went up with a shot. You mentioned a moment ago, Chupp hasn't had a point in this quarter. Neither is Shively.
Yeah, they've both been shut down. The problem is other players have really stepped up for Bethany, especially with Miller stepping up. And nobody's really stepped up for Triton. I mean, Anthony Shue's got the only basket of the half for Triton.
Triton staying in the game at the foul line. Shue checking out here as Bryles comes back in. Cole Shively, a 70% free throw shooter on the year. His career high 20 coming against Lakeland Christian and Oregon Davis. 1 of 2 in that effort at the stripe. The Bethany lead is 9. Hostetler outside to Chupp. Chupp Gets around one man, but has others to wait for. So Miller will pick him up, and Carter Miller is feeling it. He's got a career high 11. Shively, foul line jumper, yes. 15 for Cole Shively.
Shively's going to need more of those elbow baskets to get back in this game as well. And they're going to have to start shooting some three-pointers as well.
Reinhardt to Miller. He's been the hot hand here in the third. Hostetler backs down his man. Goes with the hook, but it wouldn't go. Here comes Triton the other way. Shively looking for a little help. Now he's going to back it out. Does Jason Groves want to hold for one shot down by 10? Old strategy.
Looks like they are.
Shively looking at the scoreboard, watching the clock. You can see it. Right-hand corner of that Entera Credit Union scoreboard on your screen. Shively to the corner. Pitney. Now Swanson down the lane, shoves it in for two. He's had a nice quarter. He has 7. And Bethany, Chupp will throw on the length of the court, and it almost went. Not quite, but what a quarter for Carter Miller of Bethany Christian. He had 2 points in the first half. He had 9 in the third quarter. And Miller time is here for Bethany. They're up by 8 going to the fourth on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter since 1914. Craig Heatherly making our broadcast brighter with this Bills Heating courtside report. Your thoughts on that third quarter?
Yeah, we knew that it'd be hard for Chubb to continue to score at the clip he was in the first half. And what Coach probably said at halftime is he needed more guys to step up and shoulder the weight there offensively. And you've seen it with Carter. The kid's done a nice job. What he's done is he's just been a star in his role. He's made opportunities cutting off the ball. He scored at the rim with a couple nice floaters. And then he made the 3 right there. So credit to him and other guys on Bethany Christian for stepping up and scoring the basketball during the third quarter.
And understanding spacing, too. Understanding that they're going to double team Chubb. That leaves somebody open. In this case, it's been Miller. Quickly, our TCU trivia question. We asked you the 3 communities, the 3 schools that consolidated to create Triton. You got your Bourbon, your Etna Green, and your Tippecanoe. That's the one everybody forgets.
Because you're like, oh no, Tippecanoe, they went to Tippy. But no, Tippecanoe.
Shively really battled down the lane, didn't get a call, but it didn't bother him. He just followed up his own shot and put it in. .16 for Shively. Back to a 6-point game. Triton not out of this by any means. Good ball movement. People knowing their roles. Schleybaugh found the red-hot Miller. Short. And the rebound comes to Shively. What a dynamic drive down the court, but then Chupp blocks him from behind. You'll get another look here from R&B Car Company.
Yeah, Cole Shively knows how to actually get that ball and be strong, go to that rim. Man, he just goes so strong to the hoop.
Then Briles is fouled on the way up, and he'll go to the line for 2. All the foul on Justin Hostetler. That's his first. Evan Briles, 67% free throw shooter. He played limited varsity minutes last year, was a tight end and defensive end on the Triton football team this season. And spins that one out.
Hey, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Lind caught in a trap and shuffles it off to Schleybaugh for three. Jaden Schleybaug's third three of the night. He has 9, that's the lead. Shively spinning, 14-footer is short, and a little push-off called underneath on Carter Miller. It's the right call. We had a great look at it from up here. But take another look at this play, and what a heady pass by Lind to find Schleybaugh in the corner.
Yeah, and that's just been the huge keys to Bethany, of course, tonight as well, is the three-point shooting they've had. Schleybaugh with 3 3-pointers, Carter with 1, Reinhardt with 1 as well. I think that's been the biggest thing, is those other players hitting those big threes.
Hostetler, a great box out on Briles that time to draw the foul after the Pitney miss.
Evan picking up his 3rd foul of the night. Just like that, Anthony Shue coming back into the game. I like Anthony. He gives him a lot of spark, a lot of aggressiveness, gets out there, gets up and down the floor very quickly, very aggressive out there.
Everybody you talk to, including the great Rita Price, says how much fun is he to watch when he's on the floor. He is just pure energy when he's out there, and he's guarding Hostetler now. Chop around a screen from Hostetler, goes in strong, couldn't get it to go. Got his own rebound, though, to keep the possession alive. Schleybaugh rings, no. And the rebound outside to Shively. Cole comes all the way down, lost the handle. Here comes Chuck the other way. Chuck all the way, and he draws the contact. He'll go to the line.
Well, I like Shively's move down on this end, but he was going against Chupp, who's used to that type of a play. And then Chupp coming back down. Great body control of not running into that charge that they'd set underneath to take the blocking charge. He just did a good job of body control, getting out to the side of it.
Now, Chupp, that's his first point of the second half after he had 18 in the first half. He's an 81% free throw shooter. Pretty good, right? Well, his dad, Gary, the athletic director, hit 62 in a row in high school, just too short of Steve Alford's record. So don't get cocky, son.
Tyson's got a little way to go on that.
Perfect at the line tonight, though. And Bethany up by 11. There's a great drive by Shively, but he's short on the shot. And the rebound pinballs around and out of bounds. It'll go to Triton. Quite the battle for the loose ball between Shue and Lind, and Shue helps him up.
What's funny is Shue was down trying to get that rebound about 5 different times. Here you can see the R&B Car Company replay. And then out of nowhere, he comes clear out from under the basket to try to get that ball from the outside as well.
He has 4.5 speed in the 40, as he shows during football season. He was a wrestler who went to the semi-state last year. So if you're Lind, you're not going to pick that fight when you're down there on the ground. Schleybaugh, step out for the 3. It rings. Schleybaugh rings. Are you listening? Timeout, Triton. Christmas time. And Schleybaugh rings it up from 3. It's a Bethany 14-point lead on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Way of life for us in December, high school basketball. Friday night, number 4 and undefeated South Bend, Washington. Can't wait to see Ryan Varga's team. They go down to the area and take on Bryson Hanna and the John Glenn Falcons. Don't let that 1-4 record fool you. Travis Hanna says we're not as bad as our record. He'll have a chance to prove it in front of the 46 cameras. Live stream, Facebook, YouTube, and the Champions Network at 7:30, and on TV-46 Friday night, 11, Saturday morning at 9.
Yeah, you look at that record, and you're like, you know, that team has to be much better than that. We look at the record tonight with Bethany, 1-3 coming in this game. And if they play like they are in the first half and in the second half, you know, Chubb had 18 points in that first half. Here in the second half, Miller and Schlaball both have 19 or 18 combined, 9 apiece, which makes up that difference. And that's what we talked about, being a team out there.
They have only a 5-team sectional. And the biggest rival they might have in that sectional is right here in their own county with Elkhart Christian. 50-36 Bethany, a whistle underneath and a foul called as Shu had Reinhardt all over him.
We got Reinhardt for 4. Is that correct? Yeah, that's his 4th foul.
Yep. So Jacoby's going to check out. Jesse Bontrager will come back in. Triton not shooting free throws yet. That is the 6th team foul on Bethany. They'll shoot the rest of the night. Inbounds pass comes to Bryles, but he can't hit. Shu is blocked by Chupp, but they call a foul on Chupp, and Shu will go to the line for 2.
Talked about Shu being inside and just being that physical dominant, trying to get offensive board. Just a great job again of getting that offensive board and going up strong.
Anthony, 50% free throw shooter, 2 for 4 on the season, and he got the first one to go with the shooter's touch.
That was pure gold. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hostetler checking back in as you look at Dan Mast over on the Bethany bench.
I believe I shot free throws the exact same way.
Shu squats 430. Couldn't quite get that one to go with the delicate touch, and Chupp with the rebound. You would have been pleased with 50% at the line. Miller misses at that end. Here comes Bethany the other way. Shively, an aggressive drive, but it's short on the shot. Hostetler uses that big frame for the rebound. Chupp has numbers, but he'll pull it back outside. Miller and Chupp playing catch. Now Bontrager gets involved. And a foul called on Triton.
I think they were trying to get a timeout. They might be meeting to see if they got the timeout before it.
Yep, the timeout was called before. Good call, Bo. We'll take it as well. 4:24 to go in this one. Bethany Christian on top of Triton, 50-37. You're watching high school basketball on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV-46 for over 30 years. Take a look at that Triton bench. We mentioned off the top of the broadcast, 9 sectionals in the last 15 years for Triton. That's tops in the area. Some really good programs listed in there, but nobody winning more than Jason Groves. And yeah, tonight they look sloppy. He's the kind of coach that will make corrections, and this team will get better as the season goes along.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing that happens with the Triton teams under Jason Groves is by the time they get to the playoffs, time they get to sectionals, they are a totally different team when they are in December at this time.
They have a tough one with Winnemac on Friday, the Hoosier North Conference, a conference where North Judson has looked really good so far. Kent Cheesham's team undefeated at 3-0. Bethany can't take the foot off the gas. They've got Lakeland Christian, coached by Taylor Long, the former Warsaw player, and a former Triton assistant. That comes up on Saturday night. Triton trying to trap, get some turnovers and transition baskets here. Chupp got it away. Now Lind over in the corner, and he is fouled.
Bethany okay with just kind of moving that ball around, waiting for an opening to get underneath the basket.
Time is on the side of the Bruins right now with 4:01 to go and a 13-point lead. And Triton only has 4 fouls, so they can't just send them to the line and hope they miss. For one, they don't do that very often. They're a good free throw shooting team at 68%. Chupp with the ball down on the baseline. Outside, Schlaball for 3. That hit the side of the backboard. And it's knocked out of bounds to Triton.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies brand is a globally known as a knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imaginary is always working toward a great finish. IFT is proud to support all student athletes across our area.
I get the feeling Jason Groves is going to do this offense for defense substitution whenever he can the rest of the way. He just put in his better three-point shooters, Swanson, Large, and Pitney, trying to get his team back in this game in a hurry. Shively goes down the lane, though, and puts it in for two, and a timeout called by Triton will keep it right here with 3:29 to go.
Shively with 20 on the night, ties his career high against Lakeland Christian and Oregon Davis. He's had that 3 times now in his career. Tyson Chupp still with 20 points, 18 at halftime. His career high is 21 against Westview.
So a reminder, we've got college basketball coming up on Saturday on 103.1 FM. What a slew of top 20 teams we bring you. Number 14, Indiana, goes to Allen Fieldhouse and takes on Bill Self's 8th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks. That's at noon. Take a little break, make yourself a sandwich, come back to the radio at 6:15 as from the Fieldhouse, Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Davidson takes on the number 1 team in college basketball this week, the Purdue Boilermakers. You can hear all the action on your home for Big Ten basketball in Michiana. Pulse FM 103.1.
That Indiana-Kansas game is going to be something to watch. Kansas, a top 5 team in my opinion.
How about the way Arizona played last Saturday night against the Hoosiers? They looked really good. Meanwhile, Bethany has looked solid here tonight, and that's one reason, the play of Chupp, but he was short on that shot. Shively races the other way, kicks it back outside. Pitney for 3, off the back iron, but Shively kept it alive. Battle for the loose ball. Pitney collects it and then gets tied up by Miller. Alternating possession goes to Bethany.
Workman gave up a 3 that I thought he should have taken on the pass out by Shively. Shively passed out, kicked it to Workman, should have taken that 3, passed it up, and then they missed the shot after that. Something that Southmore needs to learn, to take that shot. Be confident in that shot. Be confident in yourself.
But also Bethany stressing patience here with the 11-point lead. Triple teamed in the corner. Chupp just lobs it out there. And Schleybaugh had the presence of mind to track it down. Lind along the baseline. He's in trouble. And Triton finally does get the deflection and the steal. Shively working on Chupp. And Chupp got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That'll send Cole Shively to the line, trying to get his career high for points. He has 20 tonight. Second foul called on Chupp. Substitutions, Reinhardt coming back in for Bethany for Hostetler, and Anthony Shue you saw come in for Triton. So here's Cole Shively, 3.2 GPA. Hits the first. And that's a new career high for Shively tonight with 21. You heard him at halftime having to take more of a leadership role on this team. He's certainly done that tonight. 9-point game. Triton hanging around with 2:20 left, and another turnover. Here comes Julian Swanson to have it stripped by Chupp. Tyson Chupp goes hard to the basket, and Shue brought the hammer.
He wasn't coming in the lane on that one. Chupp wasn't getting an easy layup there, but it all started when Swanson lost the ball down here. He should have had an easy layup, lost the ball, but Chupp coming down the lane, Shue's like, no, not when I'm on the floor.
But Chupp at the foul line is pure money. He has 21 points tonight. As Bo mentioned a moment ago, that ties his career high that he set earlier this year against Westview. Looking for point 22 and perhaps a chance to talk to Craig Heatherly in a couple of minutes. 52-41 Bruins lead with 2:03 to go. Pitney for 3, just can't get those to drop. And we got a foul on the floor against Triton.
Jacob Pittman's three-pointer is sponsored by Right Way Auto Sales. Bunch of career highs tonight, or at least season highs as well. Carter Miller, season high 11 tonight. Schleball, career high 12 tonight as well, along with Shively and Chupp.
Actually, Schleball, I've got to correct something on our notes. He had 14 against Clinton Christian. So
we'll get 2 more, Schleball.
There you go. Shively in strong, bucket in the bump. Triton not conceding anything, especially Shively, as competitive as you'll find in the area. And he's going to the line for the free throw after Tyson Chupp is called for his 3rd foul. Shively's been drawing a lot of contact tonight, but that strong football body can handle it. 25 for Cole. Triton still only down 8. Not beyond the realm of reason here.
No, and they're a type of team, they're not going to give up. Coach Groves is not going to give in at all. They're going to play 100% out, and he expects his team to do that as well.
Put the ball in that guy's hands, though, and take your chances if you're Bethany Christian. Chupp guarded by Swanson. Oh, Shively falls down trying to get the steal. Reinhardt outside to Chupp. He and Reinhardt play catch on the side in front of the Bethany bench. Good job of keep away here by the Bruins, taking valuable seconds off the clock before Reinhardt is finally fouled by Caden Large.
Yeah, they needed to get a foul there, taking too much time off the clock at that point, so they were calling for a foul.
Tough to pick your poison, though, with this Bethany team. They all shoot the free throws pretty well. And Reinhardt, a 77% foul shooter.
Shooting almost 70% as a team. You don't find that very often nowadays anymore, where a team shoots close to 70% as a team.
And a timeout is called by Bethany Christian with 1:09 to go. We'll keep her right here. Craig Heatherly, I want to come to you for a Bills Heating courtside report. We've seen the bigger schools so far this year quite a bit. Now you get your first taste of 1A ball. What are your thoughts on what you've seen here tonight?
Yeah, I really like both teams' energy and effort throughout the course of the game. Both of these guys are playing to win, and they're winning the moments in the game and competing. I like to see Shively, what he's done here down the stretch to try and keep his team in the game. You mentioned his competitiveness. I mean, that kid, you can just tell, hates to lose. But I like how Bethany Christian's taking care of the ball. And as you mentioned, get that ball in Chupp's hands, good things are going to happen.
He talked at halftime, Chupp did, about wanting to play college ball. You've coached at a lot of different levels of college. Is there room in the college game for a kid like Chupp?
Absolutely. He's skilled with the basketball. And what I mean by that, he can shoot it, he can drive it, he can shoot it from 3, shoot it from the mid-range. We saw that in the first half. And then he's making plays for others. So he's an unselfish player. And at the end of the day, Chuck, he competes and he wants to win. And there's always a spot for a kid like that on a team.
Well, and as Craig talks about that, if you take a look at Tyson Chupp's numbers and the fact that he's a young man that's only a junior right now, he's certainly on pace to become a 1,000-point scorer at some point in his career for Bethany, and they haven't had a ton of them here for the Bruins.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really hard to come by, and especially at a smaller school. You don't see it very often. You would think maybe you get a lot of 4-year starters and stuff like that. You might, but they don't always score a lot of points, and so you're not going to have that because they're more of a team and not just one guy takes over.
6 points now for Jacoby Reinhardt on the night. Make it 7 as he rattles that one home. Bethany continuing to protect its cushion at the foul line. Up by 10 with 1:06 to go. Quite the battle in our primetime showcase tonight. Shively fades and fires for 2 more. 27?
27 for Shively tonight.
That's a heck of an effort. And watch this one on the R&B Car Company replay. Tremendous body control here by Shively.
Yeah, just a great, I mean, he's got 4 guys in the lane there. You can see they're really just shutting that lane off, not giving anything, but he's still able to get the basket in that situation.
But you take a look at the numbers for Triton after the 27 for Shively. Swanson's next with 7, and that's just not enough, whereas Chupp has 22, but he has 2 other guys in double figures with Miller and Schleybaugh, who really carried the mail in the second half of this one.
Again, second half, only 2 total field goals by anybody else in the second half. The rest of them are free throws. Swanson's got 1 field goal, and Shoe's got, 1 field goal in the second half.
So a terrific defensive effort here for Bethany tonight. Yes, they gave up 27 to Cole Shively, but they've been able to shut down everybody else for the Trojans. And Bethany looks like it's on pace to go to 2-3, which should give them some confidence going into that battle with Lakeland Christian on Saturday. A Lakeland Christian team that, as we mentioned earlier, has made great strides under Taylor Long.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just the team concept that Bethany is able to put together here in the second half. They saw the confidence. They saw Chupp lead them in the first half. Now they just have the confidence to move forward to play together as a team.
57 seconds left. Bethany by 8. Triton looking to trap. Reinhardt gets it to Hostetler. That's the guy you want to foul if you're Triton, and that's who they do. And I'm not saying that because Hostetler is a terrible foul shooter, by no means, but 50% compared to the rest of the players, you'll take your chances here.
Yeah, 50 compared to the 70, you're definitely going to foul somebody that is shooting that low of a percentage. And you always mark that out, and you always talk about that before the game and that during timeouts as well.
Hostetler, a 3-sport athlete here at Bethany Christian, a 6'3" junior. Bangs home the first. Says, Mr. Freebie, don't you be talking smack about my free throws here.
He's going to knock them both down just because of that.
49.5 left. Well, 1 of 2 at the stripe, so Triton will have to take that trade-off. 9-point ball game. You got to think maybe some threes start going up here for the Trojans, and in a hurry. Shively will take one. That's short. Almost airballed it, and the ball out of bounds to Bethany Christian. That might be the final strike against the Trojans as you get another look from R&B Car Company. Chupp is fouled, and they'll send him to the line, trying to add to his 22 points for the night.
Yeah, Chupp shooting 81%. We talked about that earlier in the game. Just one guy you definitely don't want to put to the line. In that situation, you got to foul as soon as you can.
And Bethany well aware of that, and that's their best ball handler. So obviously you want to get the ball into his hands. It's a 1 in the bonus here with 30 seconds left. A lot of iron on that one, but he rattled it home. Jason Groves will see his team fall to 3-3 on the season, while the Bruins will go to 2-3, and Chupp with a career high 24 tonight. Shively can't add any more to his total. Chupp should be able to dribble it out. Jason Groves, I think, is going to call off his defense, and the hometown fans will come to their feet for the Bruins. A big-time performance in front of the 46 cameras for the Bethany Bruins tonight as they beat the Triton Trojans in this clash of 1A teams by a final score of 57-46. Now stick around. We've got a lot to talk about on our St. Joe County Police Department postgame show, including our electrifying play of the game. And it all comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
All right, I'm right here with the player of the game, Tyson. You talk about, as a coach, progress, not perfection. You guys are 2-3 now. You got to play a like opponent today. What does it tell you about your team?
We don't give up. We don't give up. We had a bad start to the season, but we kept on working in the gym and the practice. I made sure guys were serious, taking practice serious, getting good shots up. That's it.
You scored, I believe it was 24 points. You scored it in a variety of way. From the three, from the free throw line, off the bounce, made plays for others. You're a confident player. Where does that come from?
Well, my dad's always been harping on me to get in the gym, so I've been in the gym. I can get my shots up and practice too, so if you just get shots up, you'll be confident.
Coach talked about body language before the game. He says it doesn't whisper, body language screams. Tell me about the culture that you guys are trying to build here.
We just want guys to have fun playing with each other. The last couple of years, it didn't look like we were having fun. The more you have fun, the better you'll be.
Well, tonight was a fun one. Congratulations. Go enjoy with the guys. Back to you, Chuck.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
a solid performance by the Bethany Christian Bruins tonight as they beat the Triton Trojans here at Jim Buller Court by a count of 57-46. Welcome into the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth for our St. Joe County Police Department postgame show. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt high above the fray on the balcony here at Jim Buller Court. And I was really impressed not only with Tyson Chupp, who had a terrific all-around game, but just the solid defense that Dan Mass Bruins played tonight.
Yeah, and it kind of took them a little while to get going as well. I mean, Chubb was really going the whole first half. It was really the adjustments they made at halftime, and the offense really set the tone for the defense. Then it kind of gave them that motivation to say, hey, we really have the confidence to win this game. Miller, Slayball, Reinhardt, just an absolutely phenomenal second half.
Carter Miller, 11 points. Jaden Schleybaugh, 12. But our player of the game with a career-high 24, Tyson Chupp, is standing by now with Craig Heatherly.
All right, I'm right here with the player of the game, Tyson. You talk about, as a coach, progress, not perfection. You guys are 2-3 now. You got to play a like opponent today. What does it tell you about your team?
We don't give up. We don't give up. We had a bad start to the season, but we kept on working in the gym and the practice. I made sure guys were serious, taking practice serious, getting good shots up. That's it.
You scored, I believe it was 24 points. You scored it in a variety of way. From the three, from the free throw line, off the bounce, made plays for others. You're a confident player. Where does that come from?
Well, my dad's always been harping on me to get in the gym, so I've been in the gym. I can get my shots up and practice too, so if you just get shots up, you'll be confident.
Coach talked about body language before the game. He says it doesn't whisper, body language screams. Tell me about the culture that you guys are trying to build here.
We just want guys to have fun playing with each other. The last couple of years, it didn't look like we were having fun. The more you have fun, the better you'll be.
Well, tonight was a fun one. Congratulations. Go enjoy with the guys. Back to you, Chuck.
They did have fun, especially in the second half when they were able to get other people involved, and that led to our electrical workers, Local 153 electrifying play of the game tonight. Jacoby Reinhardt with a beautiful dish to Carter Miller.
That is a great job of just driving. Beautiful dish to Carter Miller. That capped off Miller's run of his twos, and then he hit a big three right after that for Miller. Just a great electrifying play.
So a 57-46 win for Bethany Christian. Don't want to overlook the 27 points by Cole Shively tonight for Triton. But anybody who watches this has to understand, he's got to have some help. Somebody else has to step up just like the twos and threes did for Bethany.
Yeah, I mean, very seldom do you win championships. You might win a game here and there. We saw Penn, Marcus Burton the other night, 38 points, really won that game for them. But I think it's one of those things where he has to have guys step up because one guy's not going to win championships, plain and simple.
So we'll see how Triton progresses. As I mentioned, they've got Winnemac on Friday night in the Hoosier North. Meanwhile, for Bethany Christian, they face Lakeland Christian on Saturday. Our thanks to our terrific TV-46 crew who brought you this one, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, and his usual cast of talented men who work hard to bring you high school basketball a couple times a week. Don't forget, we've got more high school basketball coming your way on Friday night from the area in Walkerton. We'll see number 4, an undefeated South Bend, Washington, take on the John Glenn Falcons. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and the Champions Network at 7:30, and then on TV-46 Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all your scores and updates. Now from our broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Craig Heatherly, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Bethany 57, Triton 46. So long from the Maple City.